Okay, here we go. Day 11. Okay, here we go. Day 11. There's no way to stop that. So, right up ahead, we'll make our way around. I did see some agents combing the neighborhood. We're going to go try to catch some of that. It's going to happen. Yes. I like that. Glitching again. Again, do you understand where we are and how many people are demanding draining Wi-Fi? If that is a problem, there's nothing I can do about it. Now, the sheriff has moved up top here to the property instead of just being down by the street. Maybe because of the shrine is growing. This is right in front of the house, and I'm gonna let this truck driver, someone delivering flowers, Gutherie. The sheriff has now moved. The sheriff for the past few days has been right here in front. Yesterday there were two in front, but right now the sheriff has moved right there in the driveway. Now we are in no clock here. Thank you for the crown, Cynthia. Folks, tap the screen. We have our live gifts going. I'm looking to, the goal is 1 million likes during this live. And we may stay live until we hit that. So now there's the front door where that suspect was captured. They are getting a lot of leads. Thank you for that. Now they have to filter out and check out a lot of these tips that are coming in. But why not start here, and then we can make our way around the area. Again, if you haven't seen it, notice the circular driveway, but she went in through the garage around the area. Again, if you haven't seen it, notice the circular driveway, but she went in through the garage, is what we're told. And I know that but from what I understand, agents went by and picked up their mail. So you can see here's the media camp that continues to get bigger and bigger. No, they have not found her. I didn't realize we got to start at ground zero. All right. If they had found her, I would have started and would have said immediately. I didn't realize we got to start at ground zero. All right. If they had found her, I would have started and would have said immediately they found her. I didn't. Maybe not everyone covers it as close. They haven't found her. There's no one being detained at this moment, and there's no one in custody. I repeat, they have not found her. We haven't heard about more ransom demands. But as of right now, they have not found her. There's no one being detained and not in custody. I also want you to see, so this is a very desirable area. This is the Catalina Hills, and it's very secluded, but you're 5 minutes away from good restaurants. Thank you, Eileen. Art galleries. Here's what we know. We haven't seen any of the family members. They're out of sight. We haven't seen Savannah. We haven't seen Annie or the son-in-law. As of right now, she has not been found, and there's no one in custody and no one being detained. The individual who was being detained yesterday was then let go. So you can see there's the sheriff right there in the driveway. Possible. Thank you, Eileen. Look at that. Another crown for our, but we're in no rush here, and we are going to take you around. As I said, I did see some FBI agents in and around the neighborhood. Now, there are some people over at Annie's neighborhood, but we have not, the agents, from what we understand, are in this area. So what you're looking at right now, this is a live shot. This is in front of her home, and you see the sheriff right there, not far from. So there's the front door. See the rail? Thank you, only one Chan. And then we have the sheriff, which is not hidden, but you can see it right there in the brush. You can see the lights. It's tough even for me to see with the reflection, but you can see that somebody is out of the vehicle. So, right now, I want to repeat, no one is in custody. No one has been named a person of interest. Thank you. There we go with the donuts. I have a good feeling about our donuts this afternoon. I'm hoping everyone that watches sends a donut. And remember, make sure the most important thing, tap the page, and then you want to follow. Now, I'm scheduled, I believe, I might do Newsmax tonight. That's national TV. We did, thank you, Halsey. And there's Swiss. We did Court TV. Yeah. Thank you, Halsey. And there's Swiss. We did Court TV yesterday. Go and try to find some of the agents. But again, and I'm going to also keep checking news. Right now it's just 2:04. And again, this is, we're in no rush here. I think you guys, there's Julie. Thank you, Julie and Nancy. We, yesterday I ended the live. I mean, it's so difficult because I knew I was going to be going to where they had law enforcement and didn't want to throw it off. But that's where, if those of you watching, I ended it and then I drove. Thank you, Brooke and Ashley. I drove south of Tucson. And then again, but that person, they let go. So this is Media Row. Again, no one's going anywhere. Everyone is camped out. And I always just think it's good to start here. I'm not sure exactly who these individuals are. Some television station. We'll just walk quietly past them. Whoa. It's kind of cloudy. It's not a bad thing. Clouds are good. Because the bright sun, that's just a television person doing a stand-up. Watch this. Folks, how about that? 20,000. Thank you, Psych.
In the course of the last 24 or so hours, that's following the release of
CV. The releasing of the image is huge, and that's what's really kicked. Thank you for that crown. Really kicked things into action. So now the reporter right over there, I mean, they're international. Thank you for that, Cricket. So I want to say a quick hello to everybody. Again, last night was a late night. Thank you, Cricket. And then here we are, folks. Again, there's no clock on this thing. We're gonna follow this. We are gonna go out. I want to find. Thank you, Ash Hazel. Thank you, and Halsey as well, folks. Again, just makes a huge difference when you're on the ground. I think someone they need I want you to understand, as someone I've covered these. They need a break in the case. They need someone, thank you, Leggy, to look at that image and say, I think I know who that is. I think I know, thank you, Nana. I think I know who that is with that mask and, whatever, they're nutcase, or they were acting odd, or, thank you, Swiss, and there's Nana. That's what they need. Thank you for that nice crown. Folks, make sure you tap the screen. And again, we have so many people now following the page. Now, last night, thank you, Cricket. I know that people wanted to go live. It had been so long. And at the same token, I'd like to just kind of go live when we have something. We'll stay here for a moment. I'm communicating to keep up the latest on this. So that seems to be, you can hear the British accent. So they're literally flying in from all over the world. And the question is, where is Nancy? So I want to bring you the latest, because I understand that not everyone is keeping up. But I can tell you a couple things. Number one, if in fact there was a lot of neighbors are dropping off flowers, that's nice. That is a nice bigger display of people dropping off flowers. Very, very difficult. There were some FBI agents at the house of Annie, Gutherie, and Tomas. We were there yesterday at the house, but it looked like they were just checking the mail and checking on the house, because they're clearly not there. Now, right now it's 2:09 here in Tucson, and a big question is whether or not there's going to be any type of briefing today, but so far they're not saying that. So this scene, I think we're going to go and try to find some agents. But this scene, this is like the mainstay. This is the house, and things have really kicked in here since those images came out. Now, I also want people to realize that you have to, I know it's day 11. It's day 11. But the fact of the matter is, let me just, here's what you need to understand though. Okay, as much as it is day 11, in many ways, because of the fact, let me just swing this around. Because of the fact that, here we go. Because the images were just released, in many ways, it's almost as if the story just, like this is day 2. Because many times you need the image to kick things into motion, that then, that they can process leads, and then someone says, wait a minute, I think I know who has those mannerisms, who walks that way, who has been in that house. I recognize that backpack. I recognize the sweats, exercise, whatever pullover that he had on. It really does take a while. And right now, the FBI, that's right, Chris, no updates. The FBI could be trying to sift through the leads, but there's been so many tips coming in. Folks, again, make sure you follow the page, tap the screen. We're in no rush this afternoon. Someone, as I have been out here, something that I'm actually glad to see is the fact that more people are dropping off flowers and the like here at Nancy's home, because, and I also want to, it has been somewhat cloudy, but so this is like a makeshift shrine that started, and each day the flowers are building. Each day the flowers are this little shrine. You see some of these where sometimes someone is going off the road, or where there's been a crime scene, we see them. But this is starting to build. They have not arrested anyone. There's no one being detained. We have our live gifts going. Also check. And now I'm getting, it's not exactly like Main Street, but I also want to point out this is a very desirable area, and the Catalina Hills, again, it's very different because in fact it's the desert, but this, you could see where, this would be, here's what I'm trying to say. Someone asked me, like, why was she, quote, living like out in the middle of nowhere? Well, it's not the middle of nowhere. The Catalina Hills, if you want to go into town, as I said, this is a very exclusive area, very desirable area to live, very upscale. So it's a really, I can see the appeal that if you lived in this area, this would be somewhere that if you live in the foothills of the Catalina Hills, it would be very desirable to live here. So you can picture that she had quite the life going with the famous daughter, and now, I mean, this is so bizarre that it's as if that she has vanished. So I just also want people to understand, some of the comments, and I just mean here, but everywhere, but every life matters. This is a grandmother. This is a mother. As Savannah has said, she is loved. There's been no, here's the sheriff coming. Here we go. What's this? All right, this could be a development. Look at that. Just as we're live right here in front of the house. Now, this is interesting. Something going on. All right, so now 2. So who's that in the car? We're not sure. No pizza deliveries today. But the world, I know the people in the neighborhood, this demon, they don't like it. But listen, it's a story that the head of the FBI was in town, the president is on it, other nations are leaning in. Everyone knows that time is crucial. Poor Nancy with the pacemaker. She lost her husband many years ago, and the children are out of sight. They have not disclosed where the children are. I know that the Daily Mail, they have learned of where Savannah is staying. None of them are staying here. And also Annie and the son-in-law, her husband, Tomas, they're not staying in their house. And I think it would be very difficult if they were even trying to stay there, but they're not even trying to stay there. Very difficult if they were even trying to stay there, but they're not even trying to stay there. So looks like he's just bringing some supplies here. All right, here's just some people riding by and filming. Again, it's the people in the neighborhood. This is tough on them. About Annie, I know they were saying it was a family dinner and family was there. They haven't released more information about that. I do know, where they are in this investigation. I mean, and again, I want to be objective here, and you guys deserve the truth. Thank you, Jen A. So, we're way out here, McDonald's Wi-Fi. Do you realize that out here and the amount of media that is here, if you've ever been to a big sporting event and then it's very difficult to get good Wi-Fi, it's very difficult. Yeah, 100%. Oh, quite all right. I mean, I've attended the Super Bowl and forget about it. Even if you normally get good Wi-Fi, you can't get good Wi-Fi. It's because of the concentration of outside media and the amount of juice that they're using. So, but we're going to be moving around, but I think it's good to start here. That's what they're saying. I mean, I'll go through the timeline again, and the timeline that we know of was, it was Saturday night, January 31st. Now, today's February 11th, and that an Uber picked up Nancy right here, right around close to, I think, 5:37. Took her to the daughter's house. They had dinner, board games, and then a member of the family drove her back. And now initially the sheriff said that it was in fact the son-in-law that drove her back. Then he backtracked and just said a family member drove her back. So we're going to move a little bit here. So, and they say that was between 9:30 and 9:45. Folks, want to say hi to Damon? What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Give you a shout out. How can people follow your great work?
Well, 857 Tucson.
Okay.
We'll get in the shade so you don't have any glares.
That's tough.
Yeah, so I've been following your channel.
I appreciate it.
And
857 Tucson.
Yep. And
Okay.
it's just like that because all of our zip codes,
Yep.
all of them, I don't know how it is in your town, but all of them start with 857.
Yes.
And so started it about 2 years ago, actually.
Fantastic.
And it's really just brought the
You and I have
community-
been communicating. You've been watching a lot of my stuff.
Exactly, and,
So-
and your experience, I'm picking up on all John's.
Look at that.
Tips.
Thanks, brother. You
but,
saw the lawnmower, the famous lawnmower.
Yeah, no,
Wasn't
I was
that
watching
wild?
live on the lawnmower.
Yes.
I almost, when I saw you were coming out, I almost wore the orange ski
Oh,
mask.
come
I don't
on.
wanna scare
There's
you.
enough ski masks going on right now.
Yeah,
Damon.
no, I don't want. Yeah.
Now listen,
exactly.
you live locally.
Yeah.
You tell me, what do you make of this whole
You
thing?
know, obviously, I think it's targeted. You know, with the remoteness of this,
Yeah.
the guy obviously was pretty well. It wasn't like it was some druggie. I don't
No,
think.
no. How would you describe the foothills of the Catalina Hills? This is, I mean, to me, this is a very upscale, desirable area to live.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, this is where a lot of the the old world.
I mean, to me, this is a very upscale, desirable area to live.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, this is where a lot of the the old word snowbirds.
Yes.
They'll
Oh,
have
this
their
is where
nice
they
house in New York or up in Wisconsin. Come out here and they'll get a retirement or they'll move out here because
Yes.
you can do stuff all year round. You don't
Sunny
get shut.
300 days a year.
And
You know what I
then,
have noticed, though, is
yeah.
there are some gated communities.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is not a gated community.
No, there's. I mean, I'll tell you some interesting facts. The Mars family has houses here. The Mars family.
Yes. Wow.
There are a lot of people.
M&M.
If you get time, you can just drive down that skyline.
Yeah.
And you can drive up and you can see some of these.
How's their estate?
Yeah. Right.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been as far as living here. We did have. I don't know if you remember. There was a Gary Trevano bombing.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that was so. This is on that level.
Yeah.
And they just did a thing on the news about that recently.
Okay. But this, I view this area, as much as we're saying, there's no street lights and it's remote, but it's actually not, because in 5 minutes, you could be right down to, there's a Starbucks, there's a CVS, there's restaurants, a lot of beautiful art galleries.
Mm-hmm.
I see the appeal of living in the Catalina. What is it? It's the foothills of the Catalina Mountain? Is that the way it is?
They call it the foothills.
Foothills.
And then, so basically, Tucson is kind of like the main city, and then you come up the mountain a little, and here we are.
But this is
Oro Valley.
But this is really beautiful.
And that's why, as far as you were saying the remoteness.
Yes.
You can get to the street, but what it is everybody has some space to breathe.
Big time.
The roads are, obviously
very desirable. They're wide.
Yeah.
And I did come here, I did the Court TV thing, and that was, I got here at 5:30 in the morning, and you can navigate. It's well laid out. There's no snow or ice, so it's doable. I would imagine.
Lights.
That's right. I would imagine, Damon, is it possible some of the people here have a summer home? They only come here in the wintertime.
You know,
Because
it's all depending on
okay.
each person. But yeah, there's a lot of people that will get little condos because you don't have to have a big old.
No.
So there, if you go drive, you can see these little condos, and it's just a 1 or 2 bedroom.
But just July, August, it gets hot.
Yeah, the good thing about Tucson is the secret, and we're not supposed to tell you, but it is a little cooler than Phoenix. And so whatever Phoenix is, we're always about 3 to 5 degrees cooler.
Okay.
Because we are higher. We're about 2,000 feet higher than
I was
Phoenix.
in Vail yesterday, which is south of Tucson. Now that is remote. I mean, I was going down some roads. People have horses.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that, not of tremendous means, but they have decent amount of property.
Yep.
Look like, I don't know if they'd be farmers, but per se, but definitely, people kind of living, to me, the Arizona lifestyle that people would picture.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Once you get that way, you do have more people with ranches. But Vail is actually one of the fastest growing areas.
Wow.
But they're building the cookie cutter houses.
Okay.
And
I think I
great.
saw
It's
some of
great
that. It is.
for young families and things like that. But the unique thing about this area, I don't know how much you want to talk, but I talk about Tucson all day. So everybody has a custom home here. So what you do is you go, oh, hey, this lot's for sale.
Yep.
And then you go, okay, I'm going to get this person to build this home for me.
Oh, wow.
Right?
So every home is different.
Well, there might be like a custom home builder in this area.
Oh, okay.
And then you work with that one.
Yes.
But it's not this, 1,000 homes and everybody has the same.
No. And you see that sometimes like in Florida and Texas. But here, so it's all ranches, right?
Well,
or do some of these?
I wouldn't say ranches, but it's big enough to be. It's 2 to 3 acres.
2 to 3 acres, right.
Back in the day, people used to maybe have ranches. Now
I meant the style of home.
Yeah, ranch style. It's 2 to 3 acres.
2 to 3 acres, right.
Back in the day, people used to maybe have ranches. Now
I meant the style of home.
Yeah, ranch
There's
style.
no basement, right?
Yeah, 1970s, maybe early 80s.
But these don't have a basement. No.
Basements are not big out here.
No.
Hardly.
And what about, are there colonials? Are there some 2 and 3 stories, or most of them are just ranch?
Everything here is mainly 1 story.
1 story. Like Las Vegas, Nevada's like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had our big boom in Tucson in like the 60s, 70s, 80s.
I can see
you know
why.
What I mean?
Yeah.
And then, there's only so much to grow as far as in Tucson.
Yeah.
And the Oro Valley.
What are you hearing since you're a local?
Yeah.
What is there a growing consensus of what people that think happened? Now again, nothing is confirmed, so this is all speculation.
All just discussion and
everything's on the table, but
there has been so many theories.
Oh, there have been.
Everything from,
and it hasn't changed at all. I mean, we all heard initially they thought family member, but then you see the image of whoever that was, right up there right behind you, with the mask, and the backpack, and seemed to be a weapon and tools. Now that becomes, wait a minute, maybe that's something different. Yesterday, as you know, they went and detained someone down in that area. Are you familiar with that area?
Yeah, it's Rio Rico. I
mean,
that's only has 20,000 people.
Okay.
22,000, I think. So it's a border town.
But then people were saying, well, look, they're making a break for the border. But that was not, my point is, we don't know what the FBI knows, and we don't know what the sheriff knows. However, for those that keep insisting that they think it's a family member, here's what you have to ask yourself. Would they really have detained that guy yesterday if they thought it was a family member? Right?
And that's so many, there's so many theories that people are getting confused on their own thoughts because they're going back and forth in their own head of going, but you're right.
But my experience with these is investigations can change, right? And on top of that, sometimes you're going down one road and then you realize it's a dead end. So a lot of theories, the longer this goes, and this is day 11, a lot of theories start to get eliminated because people have, that's been my experience covering these cases. People have an alibi. People have a solid alibi. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people may give misinformation and then when they check it out, they say, you know what, it's not that person. I mean, people may give misinformation and then when they check it out, they say, you know what, it's not that person. I mean, I've covered stuff where they are really,
Yeah.
they think off in a different direction.
Yeah.
What they need right now, Damon, and I'm going to let you go, but is this, they need a break.
Yeah.
They need someone to look at that photo and say, I think I know who that is. What I also just want to mention that I think is really interesting is the guy that they did detain. He said that his eyes matched who was under the mask. So you think about the technology they're using, that they are going through, and we're able to find someone who's a delivery person in this area and say the eyes are a match. Now, it turned out he's apparently not the person.
Yeah, that was,
but,
I mean, I saw that interview. It was...
But think of the level that they're at right now, where they were able to match. And what I think is the first shoe to drop here is, I think they're going to get a match on who that person is. Now, I don't want to keep you, because you're supposed to...
I'm just waiting in the shade like
okay, but the thing is, and people should know this, is they may right now have an idea who the person is, but then they're trying to find that person, right?
Yeah.
Like Luigi Mangione, he was missing. Family reports him missing from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay, he's missing from San Francisco. Where is he?
Yeah.
I mean, the family didn't know where he was. The authorities didn't know where he was. If he had not been in that McDonald's, who knows where he was? They had an idea, okay, this guy's missing.
Yeah.
The eyebrows fit the description. But with the situation with Brown, okay, now they know who rented the car.
Yeah.
And they get an idea of what his name is. But it's like, where is he? Is he going on a spree or...
The difference about Tucson is if you notice how far we are, if you've driven to Phoenix from here,
yes,
it's 100 miles. So
yes.
Now, New England, you have millions of people. I mean, that people can get to pretty quickly, right?
Right, and switch states.
Right. So here in Tucson, if it was a Tucson resident, so let's say it is, as for this discussion,
could be,
right?
yeah.
There's only 550,000, maybe 600 legal that we know of.
Okay.
Here.
Yes.
Right. So so I've been giving tips on my page saying, because I know everybody watches my page, government,
Good.
They're looking.
All right.
And
Damon, you got to be accurate then.
Well, yeah,
There's pressure on you to be accurate.
It is. My page, government,
Good.
They're looking.
All right.
And
Damon, you got to be accurate then.
Well, yeah,
There's pressure on you to be accurate.
It is.
Yeah.
And the is in the last 24 hours, 4,000 tips have come in.
Yep.
So like you were saying, the tips are flowing. Someone's got to recognize them, and that's why I keep sharing out that photo here locally, because it might be someone local.
Yeah.
It could be someone.
You're right.
So,
most likely. All right,
hey,
Damon, keep up the good work.
Friends to all.
Absolutely.
And all the sponsors that you guys, keep sponsoring John.
All right.
Send him the stars.
Great. Thank you, Damon.
Hey,
all right. We're rolling. All right, folks, we're going to go, and he's local. Damon's been following my stuff for quite some time. As you can tell, really good guy. We're going to go and see if we can track down some of the FBI activity that is going on in the area. Again, folks, we're just getting started. There's no rush here. Make sure you tap the screen, and, well, all you do is yap. There was a lot of info in that discussion, and he's local, and I always defer that maybe a local person has some information. You want to talk to him. I did see that comment. All you do is yap. As opposed to what? Silence? Many times when we've been doing this, if I don't talk, people say, he's not saying anything. So then when we are having a conversation, someone says I'm yapping. Now, as I said, I did see, let's go find some FBI. I did see some agents earlier. Oh, here we go. And, oh, hold on. Okay. clear what you can or can't do with TikTok, because I know that I've run into trouble with good. We're doing fine. There we go. Okay. Let me just do. All right. Again, folks, we're not in a rush. I did see that yapping. Thank you, Paranormal. We're not in a rush. We're not missing. There's no chase right now. So, no. My phone is fine. So, but I want to, we're not, I mean, this seems frozen. It seems fine to me. So, yep. All right. We're going to head out right now. Again, make sure you tap the screen. Thank you for that. Yes. And good afternoon, one and all. You know what? Before I do, let me just, what questions do you guys have? Let's just do this just for 2 minutes. Maybe I can, yes, Nancy's house. Okay. Hey, this is tough terrain. So, so you're going to get some of that. Let me think what else. Chris is doing a great job. Thank you for that. The update right now is the search goes on. I did post an update on this page, by the way. So I answered all of them. Okay, the eyes. I think that's interesting. You know, there's people over at Annie's, but nothing is really happening. What I want to do is, from what I understand, the FBI is looking in this area. So that's not true. Her house isn't being looked at. Some FBI agents went and picked up their mail. So that's right, Chris. So what does that tell you? It tells me that it sure sounds as though the FBI is working with them. So, nope, there's been no new video. It could be. Okay. We're going to head out. It could be. Okay. We're going to head out. So the house continues to be, obviously, the most area of activity. It'd be a good workout riding a bike around here. Because of the hills. Now the FBI did put out they let us know that they are going to be searching in and around this area, so we should expect to see that. And I did see some agents, as I said earlier. Now it's a matter of, let's see if we can find some right now. So now, what you saw yesterday, that was a full grid search. Full grid search. Meaning they check every home, every business, every empty lot. They're just everywhere. And they keep a tally. For those of you that were watching again yesterday, you could see them where they're even, making notes. Taking notes, I should say. Yesterday seemed to be there. You don't have the FBI agent activity over at Annie's house the way you did yesterday. A lot of over at Annie's house the way you did yesterday. A lot of people are reporting that. I think they may have gone inside. Now, it was reported the agents that went inside, this was today, that they had gloves on, but you don't want to do anything to throw off a scene. There's been enough of that. Again, these are the Catalina Hills. Is that a road or a driveway? There are some really nice areas here. Okay. Down this road. Whoa. I think I saw some agents just to show you where we are. Okay, so again, we're going to make our way. Thank you, Priscilla. Make our way and try to join some agents on the ground like we did yesterday. Now, I also want to mention a lot of the agents, they could be responding to a tip that came in. Which would, warrant them investigating that. And there's so many tips. That is not easy. Go a little ways. Otherwise, we'll go back the other way. But dirt road. tell if this is media or work crew. It's a work crew. Christ. Okay. Yep. You know, I got another. So TikTok just put a restriction on this. So I don't know what to make of that other than it's got to be the element of the driving. Make of that other than it's got to be the element of the driving. Because there's nothing dangerous here. There's no certainly nothing violent. Okay. See how it's not easy trying to navigate. So that came up. I think simply because I'm live and driving. And as many of you know, it's okay. I don't see any activity here. It's not easy because both YouTube and Facebook and Instagram allow you to do that, to drive. But TikTok does not. So even as I have, you guys can't see the road, but they can tell I'm moving, and they put a restriction on it, calling it a dangerous activity. And I'm on a dirt road going pretty slow. Now, we could go to Annie's house, but we received a notice from the FBI that they were going to be searching around Nancy's neighborhood. That they were going to be searching around Nancy's neighborhood. We'll give it a couple minutes. Again, as I again, this is, I guess where we are, this is considered Nancy Gutherie's neighborhood, even though it's not like on her street. I don't believe that the FBI is so intensive over there today. But there's definitely media there. There's media at the sheriff complex. Going to back around. All right, we'll take a ride over to Annie's. Let me take one more swing by, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of activity right now.
Let's take East Orange Grove Road, North 1st Avenue, Tucson, and East Rudisill Road, Casas Adobes.
All right, we're in motion. I did see that. Turn your blinker off. Thank you, everybody, for all the live gifts. Thank you for tapping the screen and following the page. Tap, tap, tap. Now, I initially said we're not stopping this live stream till we hit 1 million likes.
Half a mile, turn left on East Orange Grove Road. In 0.2 miles, use the left 2 lanes to turn left. Orange Grove Road.
Okay. So right now, the media, they call it the staging areas, are obviously in front of Nancy Gutherie's house, but also Annie Gutherie's home, and the sheriff, where the sheriff is. Aside from that, that's really where everybody is. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, change of plans. We're going to go back. We're going to stay at Catalina. The New York Post is reporting that they think that the agents found a black
Let's take East Skyline Drive,
glove.
East Avenida de Posada, North Camino Escalante, Tucson. Use the left 2 lanes to turn left on East Orange Grove Road. In 900 feet, turn left on East Camino Lazorila.
Okay, we're going to stay at the Catalina Hills. So that's huge.
Turn left on East Camino Lazorila.
If they found a glove. That would mean that's where they're gonna flood the area.
In half a mile, turn right on North Camino Escalante.
Okay. All right, we got some agents. Okay, so these are FBI agents, and they're going through all over there. Let me go around. Okay, here we go. All right, now there's some agents down there. All right, we found them. There's some other ones that went a little farther. Oh, sorry. Stay here for a minute. Cover his face. All right, so these are agents. We're not far from Nancy's house. Folks, we have found them. Someone a little bit farther up. Told you we'd find them. The other ones are on foot, so we're going to go find them. Or should I drive? All right, we'll drive. We'll drive, but we're gonna go right up there, and then I'm not exactly sure where those agents are gonna go. So again, the New York Post, oh, he's on foot. Now, we'll go to the other ones. He's the one who put his mask up. Boy, that'd be big if they found a glove. According to the New York Post, they found a glove that matches the glove that is seen of the person captured with the ski mask. You know, when the tools sheriff, excuse me. Okay. Here's the one that we were following. He's talking to some agents that are right there. So we'll see where he's going to go. Again, we are in the Catalina foothills, not far from the home of Nancy Gutherie. With the New York Hills, not far from the home of Nancy Gutherie. Where the New York Post is reporting. Now this area, the FBI is out. Glove of the person that was in the image released. Here we go. So this is one of the agents that we saw. And he's talking with that agent. All right, he's putting his mask back up. I'm not sure why. He's making sure he knows he's taking a picture of my car, which is totally fine. He seems a little paranoid. I like when we find the teams. Again, you can really see the Catalina foothills. It's a beautiful area. That is one of the agents that is fanning out here. I want to see if we can we'll find some more. I like when there's teams of a couple. He's alone. I don't know what that was all about. I'm not upset about it, though. Take a photo of my vehicle, which is fine. Okay, here we go. Much better. Now, obviously, I would prefer to get out and walk, but for whatever reason, he seems a little... Now, obviously, I would prefer to get out and walk, but for whatever reason, he seems a little paranoid. Well, actually, and they're also riding around. So, again, I think it's just starting to break. But the New York Post, see, this is why we do the ride around like this, because the New York Post was doing exactly what we're doing right now, and they saw some agents. It seems that they found a glove very similar to the glove that the individual was wearing in that image. I want to pull up the New York Post story because it may have more info there. Here it is. It was just a couple moments ago. Painstaking work. So what this is considered, I believe, this is a full grid search of this area. FBI. Literally walking every square foot. Again, it's very different, but I can certainly see the appeal. You know what? They are just walking on every inch of the road. This agent, for whatever reason, did not seem to like that we were following him. There he is. Okay, so he is a federal agent. So there he is. See how he is a federal agent? Yes. The family has hired a private detective. Well, you can see it right there. See, he's walking. There's a car right there. We'll keep up to him. canines. This investigation doesn't make sense. Well, she's missing, and they can't find her. So look at how they're looking at every inch. I don't know. I'll do a recap in just a couple months. Looks like you could tap the screen. You know, they've used canines, and it's a big area to just start using canines. We haven't seen them of late. I'll do a coming up in a few minutes. When there's one agent, others will then meet up with or join. It's 3. He might have, is in case they upon any evidence. Here it comes. Right here. Okay. So that's a federal agent, FBI, evidence recovery. This is the neighborhood of Nancy Gutherie. And the family has hired a private investigator. When I've covered some of these, it's actually fairly common because the investigator basically acts as the go-between between the family and law enforcement. And it can be easier for the family. Right. All right, now there's sheriff up there. We'll get a little closer. So this is, you'll see the sheriff and the FBI agent. Okay, so there's the sheriff, and then the agent's continuing on, but we'll just give it a second. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you follow the page, tap the screen. We have our live goals. No, so far they have not put out any new information today. I'm going to do it, Chris, I'm going to do an update at 3:30 at the bottom of the hour. So, but what I hope you just picked up there, he's on foot, this agent, and then the sheriff, they know where he is, and they're riding, and they're, you know, checking in with him and coordinating with him. So, now this is interesting. He's taking a photo of something. Something's caught his eye. I can hear. Could be a canine. Huh. That's interesting. He took a photo. Something caught his eye. Okay, I think that's media. Yeah, I recognize the driver. Oh, here we go. He's going by me. All right, we're going to swing around, go the other direction. I think that is a canine. We're going to turn around, and then I'm going to, I will give update bottom of the hour. Although, listen, if you're watching right now, any number of people in the chat, including especially Chris, can tell you that very healthy lifestyle around here. I think I love all the walking. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. We're getting out. What do you guys see? That's the shot we want. Folks, share that you are watching. Tap the screen. Oh. This woman's got a tip. Oh. All right, folks, that could be the tip that breaks the case.
So there was a possible tip, but it seems like it wasn't nothing weird. It like hitting somebody in the woods. That person probably was with the FBI.
Folks, please tap the screen. Make sure you follow the page. This is worth it. Where are those live gifts? We're going to hit 1 million likes. It is. Oh. Okay. Okay.
So we're heading back now. We're right here in front of Nancy Gutherie's house, her home. And of course, they're still searching the area of Nancy Gutherie's house. Whatever they're looking for, it must be small. Okay? Must be
Folks, the search has intensified.
So this property just started by the kidnapper.
Kidnapper dropped something.
Something very small that possibly could have been overlooked.
Folks, you're watching. This is live search. So this is right in front of the house. So the FBI, they believe the kidnapper drops.
At this point, with so many media,
Car coming, guys.
This is right. We're now covering every inch of ground. Yep. Make sure you share the live. Tap the screen. This has got to be worth 3 donuts.
Or they're trying to.
Oh, she sees something. Thank you, Kelly. And I meant for everyone watching. This is an FBI grid search. Now this is the lot next to Nancy Gutherie. they believe that the kidnappers dropped something and they're trying to find it. That's FBI. Evidence Response Team, the ERT. Folks, tap that screen. We're on our way to 1 million. This is amazing. This is right outside the house. FBI Evidence Response Team is checking every inch of ground. Oh, now they're hopping in. They found something. They want to get it back to test it. Okay, that was big. And it led right back to the front of the house. You could hear the agent say, "I found it." So now they're bringing that back to test it. Folks, in here again, this is in front of Nancy's home. Wow, folks, very intense. Very intense. Notice they haven't left yet. Oh. I think that's media.
Okay, because there's this one too. Okay. I just have
Now, folks, again, what you just saw, good afternoon, everybody, very intense. You could tell FBI checking every inch of ground. This comes on the heels that apparently they found a glove. And you also just saw that neighbor come out, and she's got a tip. So they have returned right here. This is right at Nancy's home. And they have returned. So this is very, very dramatic that you could hear the agent say, "I found it." So they were looking for something, and they believe it was dropped by the kidnappers. Again, folks, live coverage on the ground, right? Make sure let's fill up those live gifts. I'm not out here doing this for exercise. We are earning our keep. Could do a donut. This is big. If this then links and matches the DNA of the glove. Thank you, Diane. And there's Crazy Girl. Yes, Heather. I think we have some crowns as well. What a very dramatic day. Now we're going to go back and see where that other agent is. And then we'll probably come right back here. but very, very dramatic. Thank you, Cooper. There's everybody. Folks, when do you ever, listen, when you get that close to the FBI agent, you could tell, she's a pro. They know what they're looking for. And to have something like that, this gets the feel of that, thank you, Rose, that this thing could break wide open. I mean, this sounds like the search now, if the DNA from what they found matches the glove that they found, now it's, nice dogs, now it becomes a whole nother deal. So this is very, very dramatic. And you could see, I mean, we were right up behind the FBI agent. So I want you to know, I mean, that's why, thank you very much for that nice sombrero. That is why sunglasses look good too. I would love a nice iced coffee or the confetti. Hey, it looks like they're finding clues. This is something, thank you, Carla. The confetti is definitely something, if we could find Nancy, bring her home, and get the clues of these kidnappers that they're looking for. So, but I've, as many of you have followed, not everybody, a lot of new people, but when you get up that close, so you're seeing, they're going over every inch, and as soon as they found what they were looking for, they wanted to get back. Now, I believe, thank you, Lookout, they want to test the DNA, right? See if it matches DNA from the scene, and if it matches the glove. Now we're getting somewhere, then it could go into a base. Thank you, Cooper. Now we're talking about, you could do genealogy DNA, and then they could start to track and see who that, thank you for that nice sombrero, there's my crown, who that could match to. So everyone should feel enthused about this latest development. And again, I think actually we're gonna stay right here at the scene, because you can tell that the momentum is almost like shifting a little bit from despair, that it's very possible that they're getting closer to find out not only where is Nancy, but who is responsible for this. So we'll stay right here. Wow, that was intense. I'm also glad, if you've been watching, I was thinking, should we go over to where Annie's house is? But everything seems to be coming back right here to the scene. And there is the growing memorial and shrine. This is her home. Let's hope, folks, how joyous would it be if we could interview her? Thank you, Chelly, right here. That is exactly right. That's an excellent point. They have a lead on who it is. Now they need the DNA and the evidence. Now, unconfirmed, source telling me the DNA, they have someone that they want to talk to, and now it's just a matter of they want to see if it's a match, which is really, really remarkable when you consider just how... I also, I hope people understand just how challenging this is and how dedicated. You saw those agents. They're going over every piece of ground. But that is remarkable that, oh, this is nice. Here's a man dropping off flowers. That is very nice. It's very nice. Yep. Stop briefly. The growing shrine. As you know, I put some of the flowers you see with a little bit of color on the other side. Folks, it's so gut-wrenching. Thank you very much for that first gift from Monet. They have not. She has not been located. I can assure you that if she was, we'd be leading with it. No, she has not been located. There is right now no one being detained. But from what I understand, that it is possible that they do have an idea of who they are looking for, and they want a chance to match the DNA of that person. So again, folks, what a dramatic afternoon. We're gonna just stay put here just for a moment. I like being here when you see people, it's from the umbrella, people dropping off the bouquets. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you tap the screen. Again, right now we're at 321,000 likes. I said when we signed on, thank you, Marie, that I am staying live until we hit 1 million likes. So we want to hit our live goal. Look at that, 11 out of 20 crowns. And the likes as well. Thank you, Cricket. So I want to recap. This has been a significant day. Since they got the image, the tips are flying in. TMZ, investigators find a black glove on the road in search for Nancy Gutherie's kidnapper, and it is similar to the glove. Thank you for that, Crown. Similar to the glove that is seen on the image. So we could have the glove, we could have a DNA match, which would be huge. So right now they don't, thank you very much, Marie. They don't have, I want to repeat, thank you, A-Fools, and there's Renee. They don't have anyone, make no mistake, there's no one in custody, and we don't know that anyone's being detained. Yesterday, when we went south, that's where the person, thank you, Jilly, had been spotted. And then, folks, on something like this, thank you, Jilly, as much as I would love to say, hey, here's where we are, you guys, I think, thank you, Jilly, can understand, we don't want to compromise the investigation. And so that's why I wasn't trying to be, thank you, Jilly, I wasn't trying to purposely be vague, but we don't want to do anything that could spook someone. Or, Chris Sam, you don't have to do that, you're doing great. Or the fact that, you don't want someone getting tipped off. The feeling last night was that this suspect was, thank you for that nice lemonade, was going to head to the border. And you don't want that. Now we've come this close. So this is day 11. We are once again in front of the home. What you just saw, if you didn't see it, we will post highlights later. That was about as dramatic of an FBI grid search. I haven't seen that since Brown University. Thank you for those nice headphones. Look at that, Mel. So, and it's also, folks, I hope you appreciate how heartwarming it is then when you see the people stopping a lot of her neighbors and leaving flowers for her. And I also, on another, thank you, Chelly, I want to be very clear. When I heard Savannah say, I'm from the Northeast, when I heard Savannah say we need everyone praying, that was, I hopped on the next available flight, because I'm a big believer in the power of prayer. And it gets knocked, and I understand there's some other creators are knocking me for talking about the power of prayer. But, I feel bad for people that don't have it, don't experience it, don't believe in it. Faith is real. Prayer is real. And I think it's important to remember that, Nancy, she's a mother, she raised those kids after her husband had passed away. And that's why Savannah's saying, you are a strong woman. But the power of prayer, appreciating the power of prayer, tapping into the power of prayer, it's very, very powerful. And I believe that right now that Nancy is alive and Christ is with her and nurturing her and trying to give her the strength to hold on. And there's a lot of stop and starts. But today the most significant is you just saw the FBI search where they found something. And then you had the glove that was found earlier. So again, no one in custody at the moment, but all in all, without question, the FBI seemed to be making some headway with the search. So, and if you saw it just a short time ago, I thought that was a nice moment when we saw that man come over very quietly and put those flowers. I think the words of Savannah have been very, very powerful. And she's not bitter, she's not broken. She is sending a very strong message that whoever did this, whoever is toying with them, whoever has her mom, that they're not gonna get away with this. And Savannah, you could, yes, power of prayer, Lisa, and we need everyone. And I think very strong. Yep. Listen, there's no such thing as a perfect investigation, and definitely some mistakes were made, but it would seem that they were not sure exactly what they were dealing with is an understatement. So this is such a unique case, and there's really, I was talking to Paul Morrow of Fox earlier. Thank you, Chris M. And Paul was saying there's no precedent for this. Oh, somebody backing up. That's not easy. Talk about power of prayer. Oh, look at this. Here comes an Army veteran, friend of Nancy's, part of her prayer group, coming over. That's one of the parishioners from her church. Army veteran, daily congregant. Oh. People coming and they want to pay their respects and show support for Nancy. And we want to thank him for his service. Folks, again, you're catching a lot of really heartfelt moments here. So, Army veteran, friend of Nancy's, coming out to show respect and support. No, they haven't found her. Thank you, Courtney. Nope. Any update? I've been doing a non-stop update. Folks, we have to continue to have faith. Now, I'm going to roll through. We're going to be doing another update at the top of the hour. We have so many new people signing on. Remember, you can share that you are watching. You can also tap the screen, and that will propel. We want a positive message. I also want to remind people, I think the fact that they detained that individual last night, I think that speaks volumes. That look at who they went for. Someone who, look at that Army veteran. That is very nice. Not only an Army veteran, friend of Nancy's, and also congregant, has prayed with her, and their prayer group, they are praying for her. So what I think is really incredible is, and again, it is, and Savannah leaving those messages, just fantastic. That is a World War II veteran. He lives up here, friendly with Nancy, same prayer group, coming out, show his support and sending a message to the other members of the prayer group. And I see a lot of beautiful things happen when something like that comes out. We're going to give a full update at the top of the hour. So, but this has been a busy day for the FBI, without question. Yep. It makes a huge difference. He is making a big difference by showing his support, and not only for him, but her friends and family. Again, I'm not trying to convert anybody, but discover the power of prayer. Yep. We don't know that. We don't know that. Nope. We are holding out hope, especially now that they believe that they could have, potentially now, DNA evidence from the glove, and also, thank you, Debbie, from the glove and also from the item that they found, that very intensive FBI search. Now, folks, I'll just say, if they found her, I would be leading with that. I assure you, I promise you, if they found her, you wouldn't have to say, did they find her? So we'd be saying it'd be going across the bottom. But I want to get back to what is very significant. And again, if you're watching right now, we're at 3,500. If you could tap the screen, I have said we're going to stay until we have 1 million likes. I don't know how realistic that is. Yep, thank you, Chris M. But let's at least hit 500,000, 500,000 likes. But my son said, you know, is there any way you could hit 1 million likes? But, folks, you know, and I want to be very clear, because I don't know if everyone is going to fully understand this, but I believe in to just try to explain to you and to some of you, I know that a number of different people, that's just an umbrella that you're seeing that I use to block out the sun. So, but I know that, and you can hear the drones over here. Here's what you should know in plain English. I know people are saying the sister and the son-in-law, right? Annie and the husband. I know people are saying that. I see it. Some of you, I haven't seen it today, but probably are saying that. And I know that there's people out there that continue to say that, and there's people, you know, outside Annie's house. But here's what you have to question. If that were the case, if the son-in-law, Tommaso, if he was a suspect, why would they detain that Carlos, the delivery man, yesterday and last night? Why would they be detaining him? Why would they, you know, swoop in, scoop him up, scare the hell out of him, and then get a search warrant for his house if they thought that Annie and her husband, the son-in-law, that they were the ultimate ones responsible? I'll answer my own question. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. And I know there are people saying, you know, Tomas has a bandmate and all this other stuff. I don't know if that's the case, but we don't know. They may have investigations. Here's what you should know. Of all they can change. They can start down one alley and then go a completely different way. So the fact of the matter is we don't know. And again, in fairness, the police haven't shared with us, obviously, everything that they have. We don't know if things stolen from there. We don't know why did whoever went in, feel the need. The person that is in that mask, is that, thank you very much for that sombrero. The person in that mask, Esty, is that somehow connected to, I wouldn't, you know, to me it begins and ends with that. The person that you see on that porch, thank you, Cricket. Maybe I'll grow a mustache like that. The person on that, her front porch, that's, it begins and ends there. Now, we don't know if there's other people. We don't know if he was solo. We don't know if he was the first person going in and then others followed him. I mean, admittedly, we don't know that. But it begins and ends with him. Okay. It begins and ends with him. And what I mean by that is everything else, the first thing they need to do is find that person. And then if there were other people involved, then, those people could be brought in. Thank you, Cricket. But it really begins and ends first is with the individual. Now, again, I'm going to do a full update. It's been this is day 11. We are in front of the house, which has been very, very busy. Hold on, here comes some more neighbors. I'd like to capture this, that are going to bring some flowers. And they're walking, they're not driving. Hi there. It's really nice. Here's the growing memorial and shrine to Nancy. That is very nice. Do you have any message or anything, or you want to say anything? No? What can you just share? What was your thought? It's a beautiful gesture. What was your thought in?
Well, I think all the neighbors are just trying to do something nice.
Yes. Yeah. It's very upsetting, isn't it? It is. So that was very, very nice. So, all right. All the neighbors are upset. Of course they are. Nancy's a pillar. Yeah. Hold on. I know. Come up this way. Come towards me. Now I'm directing traffic. It's okay. Hold on. No, that white car has to. All right, they have to back up. They have to back up. Hold on. You have to back up. You have to back. He can't back up. There's a truck back there. Oh, wow. This guy's being really difficult. There's nowhere for that truck to go. This guy. Who are these people?
Sightseeing, we want to get through.
Right, but can't you see all the cars and the trucks?
Yeah, why is this blocked? This is a street.
Well, but where do you think they're going? All you had to do was pull over. So do you think you can squeeze by there? Wow. Well, you go from a beautiful moment of neighbors, and then you get Gladys Kravitz. My way or the highway. Hold on, Harriet. Wow, what a hagbag. God almighty, what is that all about? All right, folks, we're almost close to 700,000 likes. Now I'm directing traffic. Now I'm like that guy in Minneapolis. Boy, they are adamant. Look at that woman in the right car. The white car causing all that. Right, go ahead. Hey, go ahead. Wow. All right. Now back to our regular scheduled programming. A little bit of a traffic jam, but that woman, it's easy to navigate. First of all, there's no reason to honk a horn. Honking horns does not improve the situation. Honking horns makes the situation worse. So I don't know whose idea that was. Oh my God. It's this person in this white car. Hey, Blondie, go easy on the horn. Wow. Well, we did see a moment of kindness. Oh my goodness, right in front of the shrine. What a hag bag move that is. Thank you, Momo Queen. Oh my goodness. I'm ready to throw one of these rocks. All right, to recap, thank you very much, Momo Queen. Who would do that? If the kidnappers are watching, you took the wrong person. I'm encouraging the kidnappers to go get the person honking that horn. They hit the wrong house. I'm just kidding. I know, what is happening? Some hag bag on the horn causing havoc. That's what's going on. My goodness. Listen to that. Wow. All right, folks, again, let's dwell on, let's go to the nice part of this whole thing. And it's not that woman. Good, now let the truck through. I don't blame them for hauling ass here.
Hi, how are you? I've seen you numerous times.
There we go. Oh, well, the Amazon driver. That could be a suspect. Look at the nod. Yep. Well, good thing. You know what's amazing is as the FBI was here, did they find her? I wouldn't bury the lead. I wonder what that woman, she's got a tip. I want to respect, she's sharing some information. Someone with a mask was in her yard. All right, I don't want to interfere. She's giving the information to the authorities. We don't want to, I don't want to impede on any of that. I don't.
I don't know where, I mean, I saw Charlie, but he said he's editing. I really
Yep. Okay, let me do a recap. We're getting closer, 8:37. If everyone would tap, we'll hit that 1 million. What a day this has been. I'm going to be sharing some highlights of this. I'll have to double check. I think I'm supposed to be on Newsmax tonight. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, when we're going to walk in a minute. I'm going to walk. But it is nice when people come and leave flowers right here in front of the home. I'm going to walk down in just a moment. But I do want to give everybody what a day this has been. You know what's also interesting is, and I've been, oh, there we go, better. I've been hearing from law enforcement sources that I have literally all over the country and other attorneys. Folks, everybody is trying to solve this case. So, but you guys have been so patient, and thank you. This is, and as I was saying this morning, if you saw the update, the way you have to look at it, it's true it is day 11. However, in many ways, it's really like day 2, because this thing changes and has changed as soon as people saw the image. As soon as people, I think I can bring the umbrella down. As soon as people saw the image, that certainly changed things dramatically, as a matter of fact. Oh, hold on 1 second. Great if I could tie this up. Oh, these clouds are nice. Okay. if in fact that's the way, and I get this from dealing with different law enforcement. I was listen, my phone goes nonstop. We are so close. 969, 974. We're very close to hitting 1 million likes on this live. So the fact that all the tips are coming in. Now, the FBI, they have to then process all those tips and leads. And it's not an easy process. You get some kooks. Now, that woman, the neighbor that said, you know, there was someone with a mask in my backyard, I think that's kind of an important tip. People, good, look at that. We're at 1 million. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. So let's just go through some of the highlights. No, they haven't found her. No one's under arrest. No one is being detained. So, but the good news is tips are coming in. The good news is the images are being shared. Thank you for the confetti, Elvie. The tips and the images are being shared. The more that image is out there, the more increases the likelihood of someone saying, I think I know who that is. And what's also very significant, and I mentioned this, with the individual that they did detain last night, not arrest, detained, and then they searched his house and it just doesn't pan out. But with that individual, he said that his eyes matched. Now that's very significant. That is the level of the technology that they're talking about. So from what I understand, talking to someone FBI off the record, they are able to, the FBI can do a lot. The FBI has tools that regular law enforcement does not have. And the FBI, they, you know, with the use of satellites and checking everything, they could pull everybody. You know, there's even a possibility, no one has talked about this, but I spoke with a doctor from Miami who contacted me, and he was involved with a trial. And he said, you know, it's actually possible with the technology they have, that thank you, Cindy, they get the right pacemaker, and with the satellites, they might be able to beam down and find out where she is. And that would be remarkable. But I know a lot of people are just cutting to the chase. Is there anyone arrested? Is there anyone being detained? Is there anyone in custody? Have they found her? I know people want to cut to that. You don't get to that right away. So I know this is, thank you, Cricket, day 11. But I want you to think of it in terms of it's day 2. And we saw the FBI have found a glove. They believe it's similar to the glove that the intruder had that was in the doorway. Now, the reason that's significant is when we saw the FBI and they found an item, remember, with every crime, if you ever saw the movie Body Heat, a very young Mickey Rourke gives that great speech, right, to William Hurt, who was his attorney, saying every time you're going to commit a major crime, there's 50 ways you can blank it up. Thank you for Micah. Thank you for that. If you can think of 25, you're a genius. Every time you're going to do a major crime, there's 50 ways you could screw it up. So it's very possible, I'm not saying definite, but it's very possible that in the dark of night, in trying to escape with her, one of the kidnappers or the kidnapper dropped one of the gloves and then also dropped something else. How significant and important was it? As soon as the FBI found it, they rushed to get it, to have it analyzed, to see if it was a DNA match. So that is very, very significant. So I know everyone wants a resolution of this, but right now there isn't one. People are asking me, I believe she is alive. I believe the ransom is real. I believe the kidnappers are real. We don't know motive yet, other than money. We don't know, are they laying low? None of that is known. But right now, I think that she is alive and she could be returned. So I'm gonna move, and we're gonna continue to, you guys are terrific. Stay live here. What a difference with the clouds. Again, sheriff's right there. Notice they've moved up. They're not in front of the house. We'll just keep it here we'll move around a little bit, as I said. If anything's gonna happen or anyone comes, we're gonna see it. Although I do kind of like being able to see everything going on. There's the sheriff. All right, we'll stay right here. In front of the house.
Hey, how are you? I'm Eric Fink from Channel 4.
Okay, now the FBI was at Annie's house, but they were there to pick up the mail. And so they have been scouring this area. I mean, it's, for those of you, and again, we'll do a highlight of it because it was pretty dramatic. And we were right there with the FBI search team. But it's not your imagination, folks. I mean, everyone is glued to this story. And is glued to this story. And is a race against time on whether or not they can find her. Mind your way? Okay.
Hey, Eric. You can come over here.
We're going to go back. I like that.
It's actually a good shot of the doorway.
Shot right here. Again, folks, you look at it. What a lovely piece of property that she has. And how great would it be for her to come back and be delivered right here? This is the growing shrine dedicated to Nancy. And I also want to, beautiful, and it's the neighbors. She's loved. You know, folks, with all the negativity, this is someone who is loved, who raised a family, who lost her husband, was able to see her daughter so successful on the biggest platform. And, you know, as Savannah said, she is a grandmother and loved. And how fitting also is it that the reason that they knew she was missing was because, why? Because she didn't sign on for services, church services, and she never missed. Didn't sign on for services, church services, and she never missed. And she is a woman of great faith. And I think that just speaks volumes of, you know, how much, think of that, you know, in that moment of peril. And I want to show you that photo again. In that moment of absolute horror, what Nancy dealt with, let me show you something. Look at that. That's evil. Evil was at her door. Evil was at her door, right up there. Evil went right up that driveway. But in that moment, when evil descended upon a defenseless 84-year-old mother and grandmother, when that happened, Christ was with her. Never forget that. evil. Flowers to try to shield the cameras. Evil descended upon her home. See those eyes? Notice how just black they are? Can you imagine? What kind of individual is that? 1:30 in the morning, a defenseless 84-year-old woman, mother and grandmother, in her own home, and this person is outside. Wow. You know, folks, like many of you, I am not a violent person, but we need to find who did this. And I want you to understand that. And I also think that's what people need to understand. And tap the screen if you agree. This can't go, you know, for all the people that are saying, who cares, that a celebrity's mother, you're missing the point. This was an 84-year-old American citizen grandmother. Her priority was church the next day. She spent the night with her family. This can't go unanswered. People, and I've been saying this, people are looking at this the wrong way. This is not about, oh, some celebrity's mother went. You're missing the larger point. This is, she was a religious individual. She was a woman of God. She never missed. Thank you for that, Chrissy. Do you understand? This is something greater, much greater. Somebody needs the mechanic. Much greater here. This person has to be held accountable. This is what this took place. And here in the desert, who faced challenges in the desert? Who faced battles in the desert? What's coming up? The beginning of Lent is coming up. And Christ in the desert. And John the Baptist in the desert. The beginning of Lent is coming up. And Christ in the desert. And John the Baptist in the desert. So, this wasn't a Friday night. It was just a Tuesday. No, this was, the reason they knew she was missing was because she was a God-fearing individual who believed in Christ. Her priority that Sunday, February 1st, was to receive the Eucharist, to receive Holy Communion. Do you understand? This can't go unanswered. She needs to be found. Evil can't win here. That's the way to look at this. Because what happens next? What happens if we allow this to happen? This cannot, ask the family. I think they are doing that. That's right. You don't have to believe that. Not everyone understands the power of prayer. Not a problem. We do. Oh, no, this is beautiful. Look at these young children. What a great parent. Oh, wow. What a lesson. That was beautiful. Very nice children. You have a nice mommy. Did you want to give a message at all? Did they want to give a message? No? Well, they did. Very, very nice. Wow. Now that's a good parent. How about that? No, I'm not making any assumptions. Yes, this is Annie's house. You mean where the people are leaving flowers and the media's camped out? Yes, we're at the house. Sherlock Holmes has entered the chat. Yep. Yes, Helen Keller. That was beautiful. Folks, tap the screen. Those, you know, I like that. The mother, those children. The nice gesture. Teaching the children the importance. Every life matters. Yep. Did they find her? You don't know that. We don't know that at all. Can we please hit our last live goal? We're close. What is it? Okay, we have something pinned. What an afternoon. Wow. What an afternoon. Wow. That was really... Now, I also hope everyone caught that. Young and old. We had a World War II veteran, Army veteran come. You saw those young children telling their mother they wanted to go and drop it. I'm getting a message from their friend. They have trick-or-treated at the house. And Nancy was always very kind to them. I will be quiet. Well, the likes help get the message out. The likes are what propel the page. That's how it works. And we want to put our message out. Look at those beautiful Catalina Hills. I don't know. I think that could be a reporter. Oh, here comes another neighbor. Whenever they're walking with the flowers. It's a young girl. You could put it in the bucket. No, see that bucket right there? Yeah, just put it right in there. Perfect. Did you want to send a message to the family?
That's okay.
Oh, well, you did by leaving the flowers. That's very nice. So you're a neighbor?
Yeah, I live down there.
Okay. So have you trick-or-treated at the house or no? Oh, you have. And how is Nancy as your neighbor?
We didn't see a lot of her. I live more down there.
Okay. Well, that is beautiful gesture. Okay. All right. See, people are good. I'll be quiet. They don't mind. See, folks, in many ways it's uplifting, you know? All depends on how you look at it. Nancy is a peaceful woman, child of God, and that's why so many nice people want to come out and a little token of leaving some flowers. I really like the children doing it as well. Thank you, Chris M. I don't know. Some people. There's more people coming. Just look out. I know.
There on out, they go across the street, and then there's a little dip all the way at the end of that lemonade. They go into that dip, radius following them as they take the back roads behind the grass all the way down here to the sign. From there on out after the sign, they go across.
Thank you, Chris. Oh, here comes the World War II veteran. He was in Normandy. Stormed the beaches and now just wants to see one of his prayer partners returned. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for
Yep.
being you.
Power of prayer. Yep. How about that? Amazing. Folks, you see Nancy is bringing people together. Yep. He was very nice. How about that? World War II veteran. Stormed the beaches of Normandy. And also in the same prayer group as Nancy. Right now it's 4:31 here in Tucson. We are outside the home of Nancy Gutherie. It's been a very busy day with the investigation. People coming, flowers, little roadside memorial in front of her house growing.
How are you?
Thank you, Sean. Very, very nice. Folks, tap the screen if you believe in the power of prayer. Tap the screen to send positive vibes to Nancy. You know, we've moved around, but I kind of like this spot. I like being right here. Yep. Well, it's day 11. Day 11, 4:33 here in Tucson. Search for Nancy continues. I can tell you that elite FBI are in town. The White House, the FBI. Folks, how much longer? Right now, if you're watching, you can put where you're watching from. And if you have a question that you don't think anyone's asked, or if you want to share a thought, I'd like that. That's right, Chris M. Look at that. Yep. I like that. Prayers from Virginia, Australia. It's really become a worldwide story.
So I waited my whole life to get on Tonight Show.
So you can see the evening newscasters there. That's really where the networks are, right there. Although CNN is right there. Yes. JLR's here. I was chatting with him. He's a very friendly guy. He works hard. I like that. Moment of silence right now. Pray for Nancy. Thank you, Ron. Folks, we're observing a moment of silence for Nancy Gutherie. Please pray wherever you are. Whatever God you pray for. Absolutely. And we're going to be out here tomorrow. And we're going to be out here Friday. We are not going anywhere. No, they have not. We will have some highlights up a little bit later. Very busy out here with the FBI. Little shack. Make sure you tap the screen and most importantly, follow the page. Now, today is day 11. Again, who knows? This story has been changing hour to hour. I can tell you that all of the FBI brain trust is in town. The elite hostage negotiators they're in town. I saw them last night. I won't say where, but they are staging somewhere nearby. So they're not giving up. Thank you, Bill. All right, I want to thank everyone. Folks, day 11, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Chris M., everyone that has been supporting this. We're going to pause our coverage for now, only because we don't know what could happen tonight. And I've covered many of these. You want to be ready and juiced and ready to go if something were to happen tonight. But just to give you the complete update right now, on this day 11, there is still no sign of Nancy. They have no one in custody. There's no one being detained. But it seems as though the FBI is getting closer with clues that they're doing in a full grid search. Full grid search in the area where they are covering every inch of ground. So we're going to continue to post updates. Now tonight, let's see what happens. If something happens, we're going to be back. But I want to thank everyone, and I hope people understand that just everything that is involved with this. And thank you, everyone. Yes, that's exactly right, Chris. Take a break and recharge.
People need to go home.
Well, we're not going home until we find her.
I don't know.
Nope. Nope, not until she's found. Not until we know what happened to her. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being so supportive. Say a prayer for Nancy. Say a prayer for her family, the first responders, everyone working around the clock. It was very rude. Who knows? Maybe a collaborator. Maybe it has some connection to the kidnappers. Don't cover the story. That man. Everyone just forget, move on. Very, very rude. Nope, doesn't work that way. We're not